People are leaving the game left and right because of this change that Plarium has made. It is kind of just a slap in the face. It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. What's up, guys? It's Sam, the Raid Man. We've got a different video, but I beg you guys, just pay attention. This is super important, and I think it's super relevant right now. So if you guys are unaware, with all the drama that's been going on with Raid Shadow Legends, they added the Primal Shard, and with that, they've added mythical champions. And with the mythical champions, they are super duper rare, and they're super duper hard to get, and they're very expensive. And if you want to get one, you have to pull hundreds and hundreds of Primal Shards. I don't even remember where all of them are, but there's a mythical tier. Here's one. And they're cool champions. They change these forms. They're very cool aesthetically. They have cool kits. They're not even really game breaking, but they're the new shiny thing in Raid Shadow Legends. And the Mercy system is just absolutely unbelievable. So Mercy, you can get, also let me point this out, from Primal Shard, you get 82.5% chance to get a rare, a little bit better than an ancient. You want lower numbers for rares and higher number for epics. So you have essentially similar numbers to what you would get on ×2 ancients. 16% epic for both of them, 1% legendary for both of them, and you still have a 0.5% chance of getting a mythic champion. But what's even worse is the Mercy system. So after 75 summons without a legendary, you get better chance, which is better than voids or ancients, but it goes up by 5%. So really it's slightly better, but not much better. Mythical champions, you have to summon 200 Primal Shards to start getting this 1% chance, and then you've got a 1.5% chance, and then actually got a 2.5% chance. So hypothetically, you pull almost 300 mythical shards before you get a mythical champion, and these shards are not cheap. If you look at, let's see if I've got any deals in the shop. There's a deal for voids. Let's go see what the shop has to offer besides that one. Nothing here, so it's just going to be the packs right here, I guess. Yes, this is $50 for 5 Primal Shards. That is $10 a shard. That is over twice as much as voids and about 8 to 10 times as much as ancients. People are leaving the game left and right because of this change that Plarium has made. It is kind of just a slap in the face. It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. So many decisions that Plarium has made has been frustrating to the player base. It is becoming more and more apparent that they are all about greed and just making money off of us, making us spend our hard-earned cash, our hard-earned money on this silly game. And it's just too much. The Primal Shards and the mythical champions, it's just, they're kicking us while we're down. You know, we needed some good news, some more free stuff that isn't crap, and we were promised a free mythical champion, or hinted at it. Maybe not promised, but told we were going to get a mythical champion for free. 2 weeks later, nothing. And so, not because of this, but this is kind of spurred it on further. I have been playing a second game for a long time on my own now, and I was contemplating making content for it, and I think I've decided that I'm going to start officially making content for this game, and I'm not going to leave Raid. I'm still going to make videos here. I still love the game. Despite the annoyingness of Plarium, I'm still going to continue making content here for you guys, especially if it's something y'all are enjoying, then I will. So if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe, please like, leave me a comment saying you want me to continue making videos. Give me some motivation to continue making these videos for you guys. But I do want to show you today the second game that I've been playing, and I'm starting a second channel. I will link that in the description below. Please go subscribe to that channel. And if you're interested in this game at all, please check it out. So it is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is the name of the game. And it's relatively similar to Raid. And this is a home screen. You're in a cantina here. It's a hero collector champion. So if you go to the collection, you can see all the champions that you have, and you can see all the champions you don't have. So these are all of my champions. This is a free-to-play account that I just started about 2 weeks ago. The goal is to get this up to, we're at 96,000 galactic player power. We're going to rush and see how fast we can get to 1 million player power. These are the champions I don't have, and you can filter. So say I want to look at all of the droids, for example. Here's 4 droids I have, and then here's the ones I don't in alphabetical order. Say I want to look at, let's see, Sith. Here's all the Sith. I have these two, Darth Vader and Savage Opress, and then here's the ones that I don't have, starting with the ones I'm earning, right? I have some shards. And that's an important fact. The way that you get these champions is by character fragments. And let me show you real quick. One cool thing about this game, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, is there are so many ways to get champions, and you can basically get any champion in the game. So, for example, this champion right here is Dathja, who's a Jawa. If I want him, I just beat this, and you can beat this up to 5 times a day. This is Grief Karga right here. This is IG-11. You get both of them for fighting this. Here's an Inquisitor. That's, I think, the regular Stormtrooper. All these different champions, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of champions from all of Star Wars, which for me has just got that nostalgia factor. I love Star Wars. I grew up watching it. I've got Star Wars decorations all around my room. Just big Star Wars fan. And let me go ahead and start talking about some of the aspects of the game and what I like about it the most. So it is a champion collector game. My favorite thing is there's no like shards. There's no like pulling, can you get something, with the exception of a few random things. But there is a store where you can spend actual money. But most of the time, it's to boost your account in like a direction. So, for example, this looks like you're buying a champion, but you're buying 30 shards of this champion and a ton of gear and stuff to help you get this champion leveled up faster. And this champion in particular is very important. So, like, this is a great deal. This is $8. You're getting 50 of this guy, which will unlock him and bring him to level 2. 50 of this guy, 50 of the Mandalorian from the show, 50 of Grief Karga. So it's people from the Mandalorian show, plus all this extra stuff, which is a decent amount, just for $8. And that's a new user bundle, but they run deals like that a lot. And then here's the crystals, which is the main resource in the game. Resources and crystals, which you can buy. Typically, if people spend money, this is what they do. They buy the crystals here, 2,800, which can get you more energy, which can get you gear, which can give you champion fragments. But the coolest thing to me about this game is every single champion in the game is achievable. So, for example, say I want, let me find like a cool champion. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see, Han Solo, right? Han Solo is a cool champion. Super, prolific in the movies. How do I want to get him? There's his ship, which is another part of the game. You go over here, there's a journey guide, but there's also the guild store where I have this currency from facing a boss with my team, with my guild, similar to a clan in Raid Shadow Legends, and I get this currency, which I can buy shards or fragments to get that champion. A lot of the base ones are just farmed through these hard stages and stuff like that. Here's one of the Geonosians. Here's a Imperial Trooper, General Veers. Here's Saul Guerrero, who's been in lots of different content. Iden Versio from Star Wars Battlefront 2. Anyways, but the coolest thing, and this is kind of where this is what made me think so much about making this content, is because Raid, to me, really messed up. They put this huge paywall in front of the coolest champions in the game. And Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has a higher tier too. There are legendary champions, which are these champions here, and this is called the Journey Guide. So here's tier 1, which means these are easier typically, then tier 2, then tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 goes down to some pretty insane champions like Jedi Knight Luke, General Anakin Skywalker. And this is kind of like a fusion in Raid Shadow Legends. So for example, let's look at Emperor Palpatine, great champion, super good legendary. There's 7 tiers. For each tier, you need 1-star champions, which are the lowest level you unlock them at, and any rebel. And then it's got a recommended power. You don't have to meet that. It's just saying if you have that much, you should beat this. So I've got these Phoenix champions plus a few others. I use the Phoenix to beat 1 through 4. And then at 5, I'll get 45 more fragments of him, and I'll unlock him at 5 stars. And to get him at 7 stars, which is the max level, then I would need to beat these last 2, which again just goes up to 6 stars and 7 stars to unlock him at that level. You can use any rebel, but typically what you want to do is get champions who cross. So for example, I'm using the Phoenix Squadron, which are all rebels, to unlock Emperor Palpatine. You also need the Phoenix Squadron to unlock Grand Admiral Thrawn. So kind of double dipping there, but this is like a fusion, but these are permanent. These are always going to be here. Yoda, you need Jedi. R2-D2, you need Empire. BB-8, you need First Order champions, so on and so forth. And it continues going. And these are legendary champions. These are some of the best in the game. And a lot of them are a grind. That will take you weeks to months to get. but they don't go away. They're not limited time events. And to me, that is huge. Here's the Millennium Falcon. But then above that, the crux, the creme de la creme, there are Galactic Legends in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. They actually just released a new one today, or yesterday, if you're watching this the day I posted, which would be September 14th. Galactic Legend Leia Organa. And it is tough to get. Galactic Legends are, if you're playing free to play, they're a year in the future, which is like super daunting. And I get that. But at the same time, mythical champions in Raid are a year away plus if you're free to play, maybe 2. And then you don't even know if you're going to get a good one. Versus this one is say, who do I want? I want Jedi Master Kenobi, right? Probably the best Galactic Legend in the game. This is who I want. And to do this, I get to pick, okay, this is the guy I'm going for. I'm going for Jedi Master Kenobi. Every decision I make, every investment I make is going towards him. And I know that in a year to 2 years, I'm getting him. Now, obviously, if you spend money, you will speed up that progress, but it is unnecessary. And there are lots of great guides, there are lots of great content creators. I'm hoping to join the ranks of them and help make good content that will show, okay, for example, Jedi Master Luke, if you get him early, not early, but first, a lot of his requirements will align with getting Jabba the Hutt, who is amazing, especially right now in the game. And then similar to that, once you've got these two, there's not that many extra champions you have to farm to get Galactic Legend Leia. Then you've got 3 of the absolute best. Sith Throne Emperor is easier and relatively good. These guys are a little bit harder. Jedi Master Kenobi is worthwhile. So is Rey. Point being, they're attainable, right? It's how much do you play, how far can you progress, not how much can you spend. You know, it's not how much, you can't buy this champion. You can't buy shards and just pull over and over and over and over again until you get this champion. There's no Kraken way to get there. There are ways to speed it up. Like a Kraken who's willing to throw whatever amount of money, you might be able to get him in 4 to 6 months instead of 12 to 20 months. But it's possible, and it's really not impossible. And this is my free-to-play account. It's 2 weeks. We're making big strides. Let me show you what we're working on right now. I'll do more of this in a future video, but I'm working on particular squads that are going to help me beat stuff in the game, but also unlock things down the road. So this is my Imperial Troopers, one of the most important squads. They're really cool because when you kill someone, you gain turn meter. When you buff yourselves, you gain more turn meter, and so you can kind of get a turn meter train going. And the stronger this gets, it really ramps up. This is some of the early people I'm farming for. Commander Luke, who's one of the best early game champions. This is a really cool new resistant squad that I want to get. And this is the Phoenix. And I will talk about them for a second, because if you start playing this game, if you're interested in starting to play this game, start it now. Because for the next 33 days, so again, this is on September 13th. So you have, a month, a little over a month till the middle of October. If you start the game, you essentially get these champions for free. And it's called the Time to Begin Again event. And you get Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum at 7 stars. This is for the launch of the new Ahsoka show. You get Chopper at 5 stars, Ezra at 5 stars, Hera at 5 stars, Kanan at 5 stars, and Sabine and Zeb at 5 stars. Now, you don't get Captain Rex, which stinks because he is a phenomenal, mind-blowing champion that goes with the Phoenix. But if you can get him to pair with this Phoenix right here, then that's great. And these team will carry you. I am so much further now at 2 weeks than I should have been if they didn't give us this gift, which is really what it is. It is a gift. I still wouldn't farm this as like my first all 7-star team, but I am farming this because it's my best light side team. The game is split up, at least in terms of the campaign, in light side and dark side nodes. You see light side battles here and dark side battles here. We're a little bit further than the light side battles. The Imperial Troopers are a better team, and they will work for a longer period of time, but the Phoenix is still amazing. Few more things before we close out. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, they run really cool events. Like this one right now is every time you beat a light side battle, you have a chance of getting Boost Leia, which is kind of an interesting champion, but it's the bounty hunter version of Leia when she rescues Han from Jabba's palace in Carbonite, when he's trapped in Carbonite. If you guys remember that, it's kind of not an obscure reference, but kind of just weird. But she's actually a really good champion, and she's super useful to get Jabba, and once you get Jabba. So this is Boost Leia, and I've gotten all these shards. I have her at 3 stars. We're going to take her to 4 stars. not for farming on purpose, just from doing light side battles over and over again. Event is about to run out, but they run events like that relatively often. Every now and then they do double drops. For every 2 shards you'd get 4. For every 1 you'd get 2, and that works for gear. That works for champions. That works for ships. That's something I didn't really show you because my account actually hasn't unlocked it yet. You have to get level 60, and I'm level 52. But these are the ships, and there are just tons of them. There's different capital ships, which are kind of like your leaders, and they have big powers. And then for ships, you typically need to farm the ship itself plus the pilots. So, for example, this is the Negotiator with General Kenobi. This is the TIE Silencer with Kylo Ren unmasked version. Ahsoka Tano, her Jedi Starfighter, so on and so forth. But it adds another level to it. And then in terms of game modes, there's the campaign we talked about. The Cantina, which is kind of like campaign, but you can use light side and dark side together. And this is really cool. But for example, I am currently farming up Moff Gideon, who is in my Imperial Trooper team. So I just run this. I don't have enough energy right now for it. But I run this multiple times a day to try and get his shards and get him leveled up. You earn currency. You can buy stuff from the shop. So I'm buying Boba Fett from the shop. And again, I can't believe I missed this. One of my absolute favorite things about this game versus Raid is Raid takes so long. They just introduced the instant clan boss battle, which for me as a guy in the end game has been massive. I just click it, my lineup is set auto, and I'm done. And that saves me an hour to an hour and a half a day, which is awesome. But Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes does that essentially for everything but arena battles. So for example, I've got a little energy. Let me go in here to light side battles. Once you've beaten something, it is a instant farm. So for example, I've beaten this. I've got enough energy for 3 runs. I'm going to click Sim. I've got these 3 sim tickets that cost. I have 8,782 sim tickets, which means I'm never, ever going to run out. They give you this now because it used to be a problem. You didn't have enough. They just give them to you. So I'm going to click 3. I actually just leveled up, which is awesome. I'm now level 53. I get some extra energy. My max energy goes up. Here's my free Boost Leia shard. And then there's the shards from beating that stage. I'll beat it 2 more times, get a few more of these shards for these champions that I want. And it's that quick. You could hypothetically do almost everything you need to do in a day in like 30 minutes in this game, which is awesome. And then let me show you what I was talking about with Moff Gideon. I'm going to farm it 5 times as much as it'll let me. Only got 2 shards of him, plus all this other stuff. Training droids, how you level up your champions. Use that different kind of currency. This is how you level up gear and buy some different stuff. This is the currency to buy here, and that's XP to level my account up, obviously. Now, there's lots and lots of quests and achievements, all of which get unique rewards. For example, Darth Vader, you get a lot from beating this kind of stuff. So once I do this, I'll get 2 shards of him, 3 shards of him, plus all this gold and stuff, or silver credits, I guess. And then lastly, let's talk about the guilds. Mods are your gear, essentially. I'll show more about that later. There's challenges daily. This is your guild, up to 50 people in a guild. You work together. Typically, you message on your Discord. There are guild raids where you fight different bosses. The first one would be the Rancor, which is the guy in the bottom of Jabba's palace. This is the tank, which is where you're fighting a tank, and General Grievous. This is the Sith Triumvirate, which is pretty cool. That's Darth Traya, that's Darth Sion, and Darth Nihilus. This is where my in-game account, not in-game, my older account that's been playing for about 4 months, they fight this one every day. The Crate Dragon is new. It's very tough. And they drop these new raids that you beat this with your team. Let's see. There's also, I don't think I have them yet, Territory Wars and Territory Battles, one of which is PvE, where you're fighting against the stage itself, and then one of them is PvP, where you're fighting against another guild, and you're setting lineups kind of like a raid defense arena, but more about like Clash of Clans, where it's like we're going to lay out 50 defenses, you're going to lay out 50 defenses, and we're going to see who can get the most stars. So that's going to be it. I'm not going to post too much about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes here on my raid account, but like I said, I created the new Sam the Star Wars Man account. I'm going to link that in the description. It'll be in the description of my YouTube account as well. I would obviously love if you guys would go, give that account a follow so we can get that up to $1,000 or 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully not $1,000, but start making some money. That would definitely be the ideal goal. But anyways, just want to, hopefully you guys don't dislike this. I just know personally I've enjoyed Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes so much over the past 4 months that I can't not make content. And Raid is just, as much as I love the game and it's been such a big part of my life, it was my whole journey on YouTube. I'm just worried about the game. The state of the game is not in a good place. They're making a lot of bad decisions. People are leaving in droves. Hopefully, if you are one of those people, maybe you can find a new home here at Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It is currently my favorite game that I'm playing. I'm definitely spending more time and energy and focus on this. I'm watching more YouTube videos on this game. But anyways, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.